Thank you all for coming out this evening to enjoy some networking, some friendship, and to support me and my continued campaign for City Council District 2. I do appreciate all of you for coming out this evening and really supporting my vision for the district. And let me tell you a little bit about it. When I came into the seat, I was really focused on fulfilling the rest of what Ivy had done for the last 6 years, and really looking to make those things happen. But while I was working on those goals, I saw some other issues that really needed to be taken care of in the district. So I came up with my 4 zeros. So what we have is 4,000 vacant homes in the Promise Zone alone. So that's not even covering the entire district. So this is Denver Heights, Dignity Hill. Some of these are very dynamic neighborhoods, Government Hill, that are seeing a lot of change right now. And yet we have to kind of cross that gap and get that down to 0. So that's my first 0. The next 0 is 0 murders. So we have the highest incidence of gunshots in San Antonio. And we're voting on the budget this week. We'll have ShotSpotter technology in the budget, which is gunshot detection software, which will allow our police to triangulate gunshots to within 30 feet of where they occur, and be able to do some real community policing and get out of their cars and actually find some evidence and talk to people in the community and understand where these issues occur. Because what most people don't understand is that 8 out of 10 gunshots are not called in by people in the communities where the gunshots happen. The next 0 is 0 stray dogs. So we have, yes, we have over 8,000 stray dogs that are either picked up alive or dead, sadly dead, in our district every year. And that's a terrible situation. If you're an animal care activist or an animal rights activist, you understand if we don't pick them up, they're going to be picked up one way or the other. And that's the sad situation that we have. So how do we get more opportunities to export them, send them to places where people don't have a lot of dogs? So the Northeast, we're looking at Canada, or we're looking at all, where the dogs may have to adjust, but they'll be alive adjusting. But and again, that's economic development opportunities there, because if you see stray dogs, you don't think this is the place where you want to invest if you're a business owner, or if you're a person that has a family that you want to move into the neighborhood. You don't think of this place. If you see a pack of 3 or 4 pit bulls running down the street, you might not want to buy that house. So these are things that we definitely are focused on. The last 0 is 0% unemployment. In the Promise Zone, again, we have 15% unemployment in a city that has 3.8% unemployment. And I think that's totally unacceptable. So we're focusing on technology job trainings, certificate job trainings, and focused on creating an Etsy, which is similar to the Wetsy that they have on the west side. So a training center that would allow for CNAs, construction technologists, and welders, heavy equipment operators to have these entry-level jobs that have a future. So all of these things are going to be the key focus of my next 1.5 years in office until 2017, as well as some great social projects. We're looking at revamping the MLK March. I'm just going to debut it right here because this is a huge idea. Currently, we have the largest march in the country, with about 250,000 people walking from the east side of San Antonio to the east side of San Antonio. And it's great, but out of those 250,000 people that march, only 10,000 people stay in the park afterwards to hear the speeches and different things that happen. What we have in the state of Texas is a real icon in San Antonio, with our Hemisphere Park and our La Villita and our areas downtown. So we're going to move the march downtown. So we're going to start at St. Philip's College and take the march down Cesar Chavez on Martin Luther King's birthday, and in the march in Hemisphere Park. So this can be more of the city's march. But we're also going to add 4 more marches. So that there are 5 points in the star, and those 5 points are going to be the 5 points that we're focused on in our city. So the next march will be an interfaith march coming from Mission Concepcion from the south side. So imagine Christians, Jews, Muslims all marching together in San Antonio, a city of unity, and ending at Hemisphere Park. All of these marches will end at Hemisphere Park. The next will be from the Guadalupe Cultural Arts Center coming from the west side. And this will come down, so the Cesar Chavez traditional route would be added to this route, and we expect to get over 100,000 people from that march. The next march will include the homeless and the disabled coming from Haven for Hope, and again, these are all people that didn't have or haven't had the opportunities in our country that other cultures have had. And the last march will be coming from Crockett Park, Main Street corridor with the LGBTQ community. So we're looking at bringing all of these peoples together in San Antonio and really have a march that can really draw international acclaim, not just a couple minutes on CNN. And I think that's the future of San Antonio, the future of unity, the future of opportunity, and the future of our city. So I appreciate all of your help in focusing on all of my goals. I know they're ambitious, but that's what young people are for. We're supposed to push the limits and push the boundaries. And I do appreciate you all for coming out tonight. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful evening.
Keith Scott right here in the middle of San Antonio at Tongue's Thai Restaurant for Councilman 2nd District Alan Warrick's special fundraising event. How you doing, Councilman?
Fine, thank you, Keith, and thank you for coming out this evening, and thank Black Video News for filming the event.
No, thank you, Councilman. Councilman, let's go right into it, this fundraiser event. Tell us a little bit what your vision is and what this fundraiser is all about.
Well, the fundraiser is really just to maintain the vision that I have for District 2 and all of my supporters coming together to show their support for the vision that I have and also show their support of me as the District 2 City Councilman.
Okay, District 2 City Councilman, also, there was some breaking news that you just displayed to us, and you told us a little bit about it. But I want you to touch on that once again with this breaking news in reference to the Martin Luther King March.
Yeah, well, the Martin Luther King March is going to be on the holiday, but we're really looking at the dream holistically as what would Martin Luther King be talking about today. So this is really the dream 2.0. We found that Martin Luther King was marching for opportunity for peoples that didn't have opportunity. So we thought of all the people that didn't have the same opportunities in this city to really progress and grow, even though this is a city on the rise, and we try to bring all these groups together in order to have 5 marches on one day that all end in Hemisphere Park. So the African Americans will be marching from the east side. So you imagine the mayor and myself and all of the leaders from the east side, the ministers, and everybody behind them marching. But you also have an interfaith march from the south coming from Mission Concepcion. So you'd have Muslims and Jews and Christians and Buddhists all marching together arm in arm. Can you picture that?
Okay.
And then the next march would come from the west side with the Latino Experience, the Cesar Chavez March, and all the Latin cultures that are here in San Antonio. We also have another march coming from Haven for Hope, which will have the homeless and the disabled and the wounded warriors and the wounded veterans focus, because they need, this is Military City USA, they need the opportunities here in San Antonio so they don't have to go back to their cities and they can grow as well as the city growing.
Correct.
And then the last march will be for the LGBT community coming from the north side and Crockett Park. So we should be able to bring in national speakers for all of these communities and really have a march that the world will want to see and be a part of.
That sounds like a remarkable vision. Can we expect things like this from you? I know you got another year and a half as our District 2 councilman. So can we expect more things like this to come out with your young vision? Because I know you're a young man too also as our city councilman in District 2. So what can we expect more of District 2 councilman?
It's just pushing boundaries. My focus is to change the brand of San Antonio and to make San Antonio the city on the rise that everybody wants to know about, visit, or live in. So how do we make that happen? We have to do something different. We have to do innovative things, and we really have to push the boundaries on what can happen not only in our city but in this country.
Right.
And I think that we have that in San Antonio. I think we exemplify it in San Antonio, and we're going to make this march happen.
It sounds good, Councilman. Thank you for taking the time out to talk to us here.
Thank you, Keith. I appreciate
Keith Scott reporting live right here with this special report right here at Tongue's Thai Restaurant right here in the Alamo City with District 2 Councilman Alan Warrick. Thank you again, sir.
Thank you.
Keith Scott, Black Video News.